This is LightCast Entertainment. We bring you details of news in politics, entertainment, everything buzzing in the Nigerian entertainment industry, and many more. Do wait to subscribe to get updates with happenings in Nigerian entertainment scene as well as politics. Many thanks. The Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) has dismissed claims by the former Abia State Governor Orji Uzor Kalu that the activism of pro-Biafra agitator Nnamdi Kanu led to the death of over 3,000 individuals in the southeast. IPOB described Orji Uzor Kalu as a liar and a distracted individual for making such remark. Emmanuel Powerful, the spokesman of the group, said the declaration arose from a malevolent spirit and a person who has chosen to banter his king for selfish political gain. A statement by Powerful said Kanu evidence has shown that Kalu has consistently been targets of military aggression, violence, and killing backed by the state. The statement reads partly, the worldwide family and movement of the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) denounced the irresponsible and false claims from Senator Orji Kalu that 3,000 individuals lost their lives due to Nnamdi Kanu's activism in the southeast region. IPOB is extremely upset and enraged by Orji Kalu's false statement, as his assertions are entirely fabricated and part of a deliberate campaign to undermine IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. The security facilities and devastations that occurred in Southeast were orchestrated by the Nigerian government and certain Eastern politicians to blackmail IPOB and ESN. The IPOB struggle has remained non-violent despite the Nigerian government employing infamous security forces to arrest, torture, forcibly disappear, and carry out extrajudicial killing of numerous IPOB members. The evidence showed that IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu have consistently been targets of military aggression, violence, and killing backed by the state. The Nigerian government and its corrupt politicians like Orji Uzor Kalu, as malicious as they come, accountable for all the insecurity, unidentified gunmen in the southeast, and the terrorists throughout the nation. IPOB has demanded impartial investigation into the violence and death occurring in the southeast since 2015. Unfortunately, to this day, the disgraced government and its infamous politicians have yet to permit an independent investigation. They are aware of the murders, just as the northern elite are involved in the terrorist activity in the north. Certain eastern politicians, especially those in the APC party, are complicit in the insecurity facing the southeast. It is regrettable that Orji Uzor Kalu was one of those who conspired with President Bola Tinubu's government to confine Nnamdi Kanu in isolation in Sokoto prison, allowing them to disseminate falsehood about him and the IPOB he leads. It is clear to all and sundry that Dr. Orji Uzor Kalu employed the feared Bakassi boys and slaughtered over 100,000 Igbo youths extrajudicial killing in Abia State and Southeast region while he was governor of Abia State. During Uzor Kalu's tenure as governor of Abia State for 8 years remains an economic and security burden to this day. Also, a coalition of pan-Igbo rights activists, the Rising Sun group, has accused Abia North Senator Orji Uzor Kalu of using the case of leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra Nnamdi Kanu to curry favor from President Bola Tinubu. Recall that the former governor of Abia State had in an interview on Channel Television said Kanu's agitation caused the death of 3,000 people in the southeast. He equally said he had been making serious effort to get Nnamdi Kanu released from detention. The senator was reacting to issues surrounding Kanu's conviction for terrorism and the life sentence slammed on him by an Abuja Federal High Court presided by Justice James Omotosho. Rising Sun, in a statement on Wednesday by its coordinator Master Dede and Reverend Father Augustine Odumegu, disputed Kalu's claim, alleging that the senator is among some members of the Igbo elite who are willing to play any role to advance their political interest. The pan-Igbo activist insisted that Orji Uzor Kalu should have kept quiet if he had nothing to say on the matter, rather than justifying what they described as Kanu's persecution. Part of the statement said, attention has been drawn to Sunday's interview by Senator representing Abia North, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu on Channel Television, where he claimed that about 3,000 people had died due to the agitation by the Indigenous People of IPOB Nnamdi Kanu. The former Abia State governor also during the interview defended Justice James Omotosho over his infamous verdict on Kanu. Instead of keeping quiet if he had nothing useful to say, Senator Kalu chose to lambast Nnamdi Kanu over his angry reaction to the barefaced injustice meted to him by Justice Omotosho. As if that's not enough, Senator Kalu began to make a wide claim of his purported instrumentality in securing Kanu's release in 2017. He also disparaged the Igbo and all those who felt disappointed over the said judgment, which can only pass canvas of justice. Although we are embittered at such reckless comment, We are however not surprised because we know that a leopard can never change the color of its skin. Senator Kalu can only confirm the long-held suspicion in many quarters that he's among the Igbo elite, ready to play any role because of political interest. But what Ndigbo will not accept from Orji Kalu is an attempt to use Nnamdi Kanu's matter to curry favor from the presidency. He is only smart by half for thinking that he can resort to unguarded utterances and reckless vociferation against the IPOB leader in order to win President Bola Tinubu's favor, possibly to return a ticket in 2027. It's an open secret that Orji Kalu was among those who vigorously opposed Tinubu's presidential bid in 2023, when he openly campaigned for the then Senate President Ahmed Lawan. Nigerians are not daft as Senator Kalu thinks. They already know the real motive behind his sudden love for President Tinubu. The activist added that Kalu insulted Igbo by comparing his calmness during his trial for alleged financial fraud to Nnamdi Kanu's alleged unruly behavior in court. The statement stressed that Kalu should understand that there is no nexus between the offense for which he was convicted and jailed and the trumped-up charges biased trial of subsequent strange conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, urging the senator to stop embarrassing himself in his desperation for political relevance. Rising Sun urged that if not for Nigeria's flawed electoral system, Kalu will have no business in governance. We want to warn him to desist from using Nnamdi Kanu's matter to play politics, the statement added. Rising Sun in the same vein wondered why Kalu, who he described as Tinubu's political age mate, has not been able to broker a political solution to Nnamdi Kanu's case, despite the effort he said he had made. The group challenged the senator to do the needful. If he believes he has the power and influence to get Kanu's debacle resolved politically, what is restraining him from doing so all this while? As a chieftain of the ruling party, former governor and a political age mate of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Orji Kalu should not be waiting for anybody again to lead the move for political solution for Kanu's release. He has unfettered access to the power that be and should leverage on that and do the needful, the statement said. Furthermore, disputing Kalu's claim that the killing in the southeast, Rising Sun said Orji Kalu's claim that over 3,000 people were killed in southeast as a result of the agitation by Nnamdi Kanu. Can he tell the world who authorized the said killing? With Senator Kalu's feigned ignorance of the genocide killing of IPOB members by security agency without any provocation, was he referring to the massacre of IPOB members praying at Nkpo and Onitsha, and those praying at the National High School Abia or Biafra agitators massacred in Port Harcourt during a pro-Trump rally? How could Uzor Kalu justify blamed IPOB members, who are rather the helpless victim of the brutality of security operatives, for an offense they are innocent of? We warn Orji Uzor Kalu and his fellow political opportunists to refrain further from unguarded and treacherous remark concerning Kalu's ordeal. History will judge anyone who betrays his people for selfish gains.